This fascinating symbol contains many layers of code I'm about to show you. Let's examine some mysterious symbols and let them speak for themselves and see what we find out. The mind-blowing code between hexagons, hexagrams, the Seal of Solomon, the Star of David, Metatron's cube, sacred geometry, Saturn, hidden symbol codes, and number 6 numerology. Right into the first layer of the hexagon, which is the core of the hexagram and the sacred structure of the bees, whose tissue repairing healing frequency I'm briefly going to turn on for a minute. The average is right below 285 Hz on the solfeggio. Spas incorporate beehives for their beneficial and calming properties, so tap into that beekeeping, John the Baptist, live longer honey propolis frequency power as I show you this hexagon code. We're going deep. A lot of this you won't find in any book, like the 6 sides you see here of the hexagon, relating to 6 being the number of man who was created on the 6th day, who was also given 120 years like you see the 120-degree angles here. There's a cryptic code hidden within the 120 which I've covered on my page before. 6 being the number of man, also tying into the Vitruvian man and the Seal of Solomon, which we'll be coming back to later. We're going to move on from bees into Saturn for a second. THC molecule segue. Check out the hexagonal structure, which we also see in this electric dipole effect. It's basically the distribution of energy. The shape is related to the creation of a macroscopic dipole, which is the precursor to electricity. Keep that in mind as we check out the hexagon of Saturn, which is also the 6th planet, / wandering star, and in ancient times the second sun. This hexagon on Saturn's north pole is a 6-sided hurricane that could allegedly fit 4 Earths inside of it. And really it ties into the Black Cube conspiracy, which I have a video on my page about. But basically you see this cube appear all over the world and in many religions. Quick interesting rabbit hole that ties in with the Black Cube. When you see the words Kaaba and Allah, the Kaaba is the Black Cube in Mecca, that Muslim circle. And then you hear the word Kabbalah, which also has cube and occultism tie-ins. Kind of sounds like the same origin of syllables. Also, those syllables Ka and Ba mean spirit personality, which you also see in the Merkaba, which is what God rides around in, or the tetrahedron Merkaba, which we're going to be coming back to. Cern is building a lot of its collider tech with hexagon structures. Remember the electric dipole. Also, this hexagonal shape ties in with the hexagon on Saturn. Saturn also tying in with Nimrod, Cern tying in with Nimrod, things we've discussed and we'll be going into deeper. Also, the prefix for hexagon is hex, which is a curse. Hex also tying in with curses, the number 6, and man. Let's check out this other weird hexagon in the middle of the Australian desert. Some other top secret possible witchcraft military installations. This is what we know about this place. It's a top secret US joint military base and it has to do with space surveillance. That's one way of gently wording to the public that it's a giant witchcraft astrological sigil to... This is all for entertainment, by the way. This massive weaponized ritual site, base, is known for working with ELF waves, weapons programs that affect air and deep sea. And the design on this thing just looks crazy, just like the connections you're about to see with the number 6. Number 6 numerology and mystical symbols, and how it all ties in with the hexagon I showed you and the hexagram we're about to jump into, aka Star of David, Seal of Solomon. As we said, 6 being the number of man created on the 6th day. 6 mathematically is considered the perfect number because 1, 2, and 3, whether you add them up or multiply them, all equal 6. Also the 6 days of creation, and the 7th there was rest. This is where things are really going to get interesting. 666 being the mark of the beast, check out these Greek symbols, the original text for 666. It looks exactly like the Islamic Bismillah symbols. Also 6s in many cultures look just like that squiggly symbol you're seeing, especially the ones in Sanskrit. Check out this magical McDonald's M symbol from an old book of magic. Also the Scorpio-Virgo connection with their symbols and story thread with the Mazzaroth, which I've covered. The Latin and Greek prefix are hex and sex, both having to do with occult magical rituals as well. Here's some logos / sigils displaying the 666. You see it in Cern and Disney here. You also see it in the Google Chromecast. Also the Google Play is the sigil of Lucifer, which you see here. And the Google Home logo is the pentagon, which is the core of the pentagram. What you got going on there, Google? The sigil of Lucifer, by the way, is also the same as the sigil of Enki, the mischievous Sumerian god of wisdom said to live under the sea. This sigil and entities are also connected to Saturn, undeniably, which you'll see. Also interesting addresses like 666 UN Plaza. Also, anytime you see 3 hexagons and you see this angle of lines, it's the 666, just like the flux capacitor. It's the angle of 3 hexagons. Also the atom with 6 electrons, 6 protons, and 6 neutrons in the carbon-12 atom, which is the basis for most life forms according to the scientific model. Also check out how the official atom logo and shape is the hexagram, which we're transitioning from showing you how the hexagon now becomes the hexagram / Seal of Solomon, Star of David. Also, the true mystery really begins to unravel after setting this foundation. This is running long, but we're also going to be hitting Metatron's cube, sacred geometry, shape power, symbol codes, and so much more. This is all going somewhere, and you're not going to need to pay for it. And remember, be wise as a serpent, but innocent as a dove. See you real soon with the mind-blowing revelation about the Star of David. We're going to keep this journey going.